What's up, you guys? Welcome to today's video. As you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about Nikita Dragun because she was arrested a few days ago in Florida and then she was placed in a men's unit, or so she said. If you are new here, hi, my name is Jess. I'm a person in long-term recovery who has in fact been to prison. It's not great. 0 out of 10 on Yelp. If you want to follow me on any other social media platform, TikTok, Instagram, Patreon, that's $2. It's only ever going to be $2. All of that is linked down below, as well as my vlog channel and my Facebook page. But I have a lot to say, so let's go ahead and kick this thing off. Now, before I say anything about this situation or Nikita, I just want to put a little disclaimer here, you know, a little thing. I don't care about drama or the content of her character. I don't know her personally. I've seen some of her videos and she's gorgeous. Any drama that she's been in online is not my business. I don't care. I'm here to talk about how she was treated and how trans people continue to be treated in jails and prisons in this country. That is all I care about, so please don't storm the comment section dragging her and saying all this bad stuff about her and talking about drama, because I don't care. That is not the point of this video. So I just found out about this morning, but my newsfeed was just popping off with all of these articles about her getting arrested, and that's not like the main thing, but let me start with why she was arrested. So she was staying at the Good Time Hotel. Your girl had a little too good of a time. Okay, I'll stop. So Nikita's charges are kind of serious, and I'm sure they'll be pled down, but she was charged with felony assault, misdemeanor battery, and misdemeanor disorderly conduct. The felony assault is what I am like the most concerned about, because it's felony assault on a police officer. Girl. Ugh. Okay, this is what happened. So Nikita was pretty drunk by the pool, and a lot of reports said, you know, she was causing a disturbance, you know, probably just had a little bit too much to drink, and I'm not judging. I'm the literal last person on the face of the earth that has the right to judge a single person for being put in jail. So she probably had a little bit too much to drink, and she was causing a disturbance by the pool, and at one point during this entire scene, she was naked, causing a disturbance. Like, I mean, the confidence. Can I just have a little drop of that confidence, please? If I'm naked in my house too long, I'm trying to put clothes on, so like, get it. All hail the queen. I'm just saying. I know it's serious. I'm sorry. I just wish I had that confidence. Okay, so she's naked, probably drunk. I'm just gonna have to assume that she was under the influence because of just how irate she was acting, causing a disturbance for a while. People called in, you know, and said like, yo, she's getting out of control. So by the time the cops get there, she's in her room, and when the officers arrived, there was loud music playing, and Nikita came to the door and was very aggressive with cops, and I guess she had like thrown a water bottle at the cop, and like different news articles and different reports say that like she threw water at a cop. So like water got onto the cop. And then another report says that like the water bottle hit the cop. So she was pretty aggressive, and then I think she swung on an officer. Girl, you cannot do that. Ugh. So she also threw water at like a hotel staff member, and like security and the cops went up to her room, and she opened the door and was just really like crappy with them, and like threw her water bottle and was like, do you want more? And she was like super irate with them. So that's where the felony assault on a police officer comes from, which is not a charge that is taken lightly. So I'm not exactly sure if she swung on an officer, because there's like a bunch of news stories coming out, but the fact of it is she did throw water at like a staffer at the hotel, and then she threw a water bottle at a police officer, and she was just very, you know, she was probably drunk. Her charges and what happened at the hotel is kind of taking a back seat, because she asked in court if she still had to be housed in the men's unit. Now that video has kind of gone viral, and I'm gonna show a little clip of it right now.
Ma'am, you were arrested for battery on a corrections officer, disorderly conduct, or no, battery on a law enforcement officer, disorderly conduct, and then a battery in violation of a county city ordinance. What would you prefer to address you as?
She's here
Oh,
on,
she and her as
Oh, okay, that's fine, thank
looks
you.
like she's here on vacation.
All right.
and Your Honor, may I ask one question? Do I have to stay here in the men's unit still?
Yeah, I don't make the rules up there, but
Okay.
it's proper accommodation for you. You can get a separate area. You can contact the bondsman to try and get you out. Ms. Corey, do you want to note your file that makes to follow up to make sure she's able to get hold of a bondsman to bond out?
Yes, Judge.
I am happy that the judge asked what her pronouns were. That made me happy. So Nikita is legally female. When she was arrested and booked into the Miami County Jail, they booked her under male. Now, this is the entire point of why I wanted to sit down and talk to you guys about this, because according to PREA, the Prison Rape Elimination Act, which was created in 2003, I believe, is kind of flawed, and they leave it up to the specific jail and state to determine what is safe for transgender inmates. You just cannot leave it up to the jail. You cannot leave it up to the jail to create policies to keep transgender people safe. You just can't, because in most cases across this entire country, the jail will determine where you're housed based on the sex you were assigned at birth and your genitalia. Because they do it that way, a 2015 study came out that said 1 in 5 transgender people are sexually assaulted in jails and prisons by the inmates and or the staff. So how is it okay that we're leaving these policies up to the jail? Now, Nikita says that she was housed in a men's area. Of course, the jail is going to say, nope, that didn't happen. She was in an open area. Then they went a step further and said she wasn't even booked back into the regular jail. She wasn't in GP. Because of her status, her high profile status, she was kept in a solitary confinement cell by herself. But then they said, but she was also in an open area where there are staff members. And I don't know what this jail looks like. I've never been to the Miami County Jail, but I have been to a jail in Texas, go figure, that had open areas with like this tiny little cement thing to separate the men from the women. So if that is kind of what it looked like the open area before you're actually booked into the jail, if that's what it looks like, she would have been with the men. And that's what the jail said. Oh, she was in this open area where there are corrections officers everywhere. Okay, cool. That's the male side though, right? Because you booked her in as male? Okay, but then they said, oh, she was by herself in a solitary confinement cell because she's high profile. So which is it? Which is it? And I don't think that Nikita would go to court and during her arraignment say, do I still have to be housed on the men's side? Why would she say that if that wasn't happening? And you guys have to understand that of course the jail is going to never admit wrongdoing. Of course they're gonna say we followed policies, but based on my experience in the prison system, I believe her. And even if I'm wrong, even if she just said that to like have attention on the internet, I don't know why she would, but if she did, the fact still remains that even though we have PREA, Prison Rape Elimination Act, it is on a case-by-case basis and it's up to the jail, it's up to the facility, and that is not okay. You do still have jails in this country that either don't understand or don't care when it comes to housing anyone, especially people that need extra protection, like people that are trans. They need to be protected when they're in these facilities. And if you're going to come on the internet and say she just shouldn't have broken the law, she shouldn't have been irate, she shouldn't have been drunk, yep, cool. Yep, she shouldn't have. That has nothing to do with the fact that we're human, we make mistakes, and people use that phrase, you just shouldn't have broken the law, to justify these facilities continuously violating human rights. So I'm sure that Nikita's lawyers are going to advise her to not talk about the details of her charges and the incident itself that happened that put her in jail. But I think it would be beneficial if she talked about her experience getting booked in as a trans woman and going through that entire process. As someone that has gone through the booking process so many times, it is dehumanizing, it's embarrassing, it's awful, but it's next level when we're talking about her experience. Her experience is going to be really different than mine. I can only imagine how much more humiliating this must have been for her. And I don't know if the Miami Beach jail has had a lot of experience in booking in trans people. I would assume that they have policies for that. I'm pretty sure I read that. But I know how cruel they can be. I know how insensitive they can be, how dehumanizing they can be. And the fact that they booked her in as male, just, I don't know why. I don't know why that they would do that. She is legally female. I don't have all the answers. I don't have a magic wand that I could just wave and say like, this is what we need to do. This is gonna make it easier. But I do know that we need to protect people. I know that jails and prisons all across this country constantly, continuously, habitually violate human rights. I'm glad that Nikita is out of jail and she'll, go through that whole court process, and I'm sure this will get pled down. Her lawyers will probably advise her, like I said, to not talk about the details of the case, but this goes so much further than Nikita because there are millions of people that are not as privileged as Nikita, that don't have the means that she does, or the people, the followers, there are so many other people that are constantly getting hurt in our criminal justice system because they are trans. There are people that are constantly getting hurt in everyday life because they're trans. While I'm grateful for Priya, there's some flaws, and one of them is you can't leave it up to the jail. You just can't anymore. It's not okay. And it's almost 2023. The fact that we are still saying it's okay to let the jail decide how they treat transgender inmates is beyond me. We have got to do so much better. There are corrections officers in facilities all across this country. You wouldn't even believe how many are constantly breaking the law, constantly beating, killing inmates even, raping inmates, and they're getting away with it. So please do not storm the comment section with just don't break the law and that won't happen to you, because you're just giving the guards a pass, giving the system a pass. And because they run the jail, they write the policies, they're up here, they're in a different color uniform than the rest of us, then it's just okay? No. So we've got to do better. We have to rewrite these policies. We have to make sure that we are protecting trans inmates and all other inmates. Personally, don't care what the jail said. I don't care. I don't care what the jail said that they did. I believe her over the jailers any day, because I've literally heard jail staff, nursing staff, cover up crimes and not help people and check some boxes on some paperwork to cover their own ass while they are violating human rights, hurting people, and not helping people. A lot of nurses, not all, in jails will just not help the inmates. I've heard horror story after horror story. I've experienced my own shit with nursing staff. Corrections officers, they are very, they are very blue with blue. They are very together. It's us versus them. They'll say whatever to protect each other. Not all corrections officers, not all nurses, but it happens on a daily basis in this country. I also want to add in here that it is not the jail staff, it's not their job to punish you. Your punishment is loss of freedom. Your punishment is not to be humiliated, is not to be beaten, sexually assaulted, harassed. And inmates do have rights. They don't have full constitutional rights. They have basic rights. Cruel and unusual punishment is a very serious thing, and it's not taken seriously in this country when it comes to people going to jail. And frankly, our prison system is a fucking embarrassment. It really is. Recidivism rates are sky high. That's not because the person that is going to prison is a horrible person. It's the system is designed and set up to keep them going back. If you cared about your tax dollars and where they're going, then you should care that your tax dollars are going to the abuse and mistreatment of inmates. And I don't care if you like Nikita or Dragun or not. She shouldn't have been in a men's unit. She shouldn't have been on the male side in intake. She just shouldn't have. Maybe a separate unit for transgender people would be better. I can't imagine how scary it must be to be a trans woman and be placed in a male unit. I would be very scared. Yes, Nikita shouldn't have done what she did. That doesn't justify her being placed in a male unit or anywhere near the men. It's not okay. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Please keep it nice, keep it kind. I do have a lot of filters to block out homophobic or transphobic comments. I am forever an ally of LGBTQ+, and if you don't like that, you can unsubscribe. I'm gonna end today's video here. As always, I love you guys. Stay safe, stay in recovery, whatever that looks like to you. We've got to do better moving into 2023. And I will see you guys in my next one.